Did God create the Sabbath to help us balance our lives? Have you ever pondered the profound benefit a weekly Sabbath rest can make in an individual's life? Sabbath rest is more than just a day off work. It's a day for rest, reflection, and reverence. This tradition is as old as creation itself. The concept of Sabbath rest can be traced back to the book of Genesis, where it tells us that after 6 days of creation, God rested on the seventh day. This act of rest wasn't because of fatigue. After all, God is omnipotent. Instead, it was an intentional act, a divine pause, setting a precedent for all of creation. This precedent was later codified in the Ten Commandments as recorded in the book of Exodus. God instructs his people, 6 days you shall labor and do all your work, but the seventh day is a Sabbath to the Lord your God. This commandment is not merely about refraining from work. It's about stepping back, enjoying the fruits of your labor and dedicating a day to the Lord. But there's more to it. The Sabbath rest is also a celebration of freedom. In Deuteronomy, the Israelites are reminded to observe the Sabbath day and remember that they were once slaves in Egypt. The Sabbath, therefore, serves as a poignant reminder of liberation from bondage. The Sabbath rest is not just about physical rest, although that is undeniably a part of it. It's also about spiritual rest, a time to renew and strengthen our relationship with God. It's a time to reflect on His goodness, His provision, and His unfailing love. In the New Testament, Jesus affirmed the importance of the Sabbath. Mark 2:27 states, "The Sabbath was made for man, not man for the Sabbath." This profound statement underlines the concept that the Sabbath isn't a burdensome obligation, but rather is a gift from God, designed for our well-being. So, what have we uncovered about the Sabbath rest? It's a divine precedent set at the dawn of creation. It's a commandment, a balance between work and rest, a celebration of freedom and a time for spiritual renewal. It's a gift, not a burden, a day made for us to pause, reflect, and connect with our Creator. This profound tradition of Sabbath rest, tucked away in the ancient scriptures, holds timeless wisdom for us today. It invites us to embrace a rhythm of life that's in harmony with our Creator's design, a rhythm that balances work and rest, that celebrates freedom, and that nurtures our spiritual well-being. The Sabbath rest isn't an outdated concept, but a living tradition deeply relevant to our modern lives. It beckons us to step away from the relentless pace of life, to pause, to rest, and to remember that we are not defined by our work, but by our relationship with God. So, in the hustle and bustle of life, remember the Sabbath rest. Remember the balance it brings, the freedom it celebrates, and the spiritual renewal it offers. Remember the Sabbath, for it is a gift to be treasured, a gift of grace, a gift of rest.